Everyone looks great, which means this episode 5 of Sportsaholics is going to be a good one. It's going to go by quick. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, wherever you get your entertainment. Search Sportsaholics. You will find us there, of course. With the next, we got Eric Marino in. You're in New York, right? Today?
I'm in New York City. That's right. I'm back in New York City. Drove in this morning.
Willie Hunter is holding it down on the West Coast in Los Angeles. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in LA. I'm in LA.
But
In a
Eric, you're
blurry, in an
you're
indistinct, blurry background. Willie's in a safe home, in a safe
I'm in an
location.
undisclosed location
That's
right
it.
now.
That's it.
that
Yeah, yeah.
There you
suspiciously
go.
looks like Van Nuys to me. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
uh
I'm in back of a porn shoot right now. I can't show you the background.
but Eric, you are heading to Cleveland soon, I believe.
This week for Easter Sunday. Sure. I was in New Hampshire until very early this morning. I drove into New York City. I went to a doctor's appointment, dermatology. Everything's looking good on the skin cancer front.
Nice. You look great.
And that's right. Thank you. And then took some mushrooms and walked around Central Park. The cherry blossoms are in bloom, my friends.
Beautiful
And
outside.
I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and it was fantastic. And now I'm recording Sportsaholics, guys. Welcome back to the
No,
show.
you brought
Let's
up a good
roll.
point. Brought up a good point right there. The cherry blossoms are in bloom. Midwest right now looks amazing. There's colors everywhere. It's one thing that California will starve you of is a beautiful spring blossom. I know it's beautiful all year. It's basically you're walking around in beauty, so you don't know how good you have it until it goes away for 4 months and you get record 25 inches of snow in Kansas City. Now the sun comes out for 3 or 4 days in a row. Everyone's in a good mood. Sorry, sidebar there.
No, the truth is, down the street from where I live, they were doing tree trimming. So the
Oh,
trees are, it's almost getting a haircut to all the trees in the community right now. The palm trees, the cedar trees, trees that are not indigenous to this area. They're
Just give it a
getting
fade. Just give me a
they
little
get a little
fade on my.
fade, yeah, a little broccoli fade, it's high on top, low on the sides.
some of them though, they just come up. I've never seen tree trimming like they do in California, where they just cut the whole thing down except for a couple nubs, and then they let it grow back slowly. I mean, I guess it saves money, but I mean, they will just cut the whole thing down,
Do
time it.
yourself a favor and watch people trim palm trees. These because they're palm trees, so you have to like hug it and climb it up with the like all the way up. So these guys are going up hundreds of feet in the air, hugging a tree with their little spikes on,
Yep.
and with a little saw, cutting off the palms.
And there are rats up in those palm trees. Don't let anyone fool you. There are rats up in those trees.
I've seen the bloopers
Maybe.
where they cuts it and it just starts. Anyway, maybe I'll edit it in. Um, But, I was going to try to find some sort of segue into sports from a palm tree, but I guess we go Southern California, but I don't really want to talk Lakers, Clippers. No one ever needs to talk about. But since we're talking about basketball, Willie, sorry about your Auburn Tigers. Great run through the
You
tournament.
know, I was happy we made it to, and I told Eric this, and he thought that I was being facetious and trying to like play it down. I was happy to make it to the Final Four. This is the second time we ever made it in program history.
It was an
Uh,
honor to be nominated, he said. That's what he wanted to have
Honored to
happen.
be nominated,
I
and
like that.
so I got that out of the way. So the pressure of losing it didn't feel too bad. I mean, to make it there was amazing. It was a magical season. You're a Kansas fan. You remember the years before like we had Roy Williams
Yeah. No, in
for all
fact,
those years.
I went in '08. I was there for the Final Four when they beat Roy Williams and North Carolina. They were up like I think 20 plus at halftime. And it was great because I went and grabbed my brother, and I think he was a freshman in college. Went out to Lawrence. My buddy was a GM at a bar, went and watched the game. Mass Street after the game, the 10,000 people rush, have a great, the entire college experience. But that day we went around and filmed this video. Who do you hate more, Osama bin Laden or Roy Williams?
Roy Williams
Oh,
won.
And we
I remember
just,
that video.
I
Roy
went and
Williams won
I
pretty
went and
good.
knocked on fraternity doors, and people were beer ponging everywhere. It was, it was great weather. So I got about
so you're saying that you like Bill Self more than Roy Williams?
no, Bill Self is an amazing. Bill Self was born to do two things, and one was coach college basketball, or two, sell Maseratis. And
I was gonna say used car salesman, no
he
doubt.
chose to be a coach for KU. No, he's a great guy, and he's got a good reputation around town, around Kansas City. I know several people that work in like the restaurant industry, and they're like have nothing but great things to say. Which, look, there's a lot. This is a small town here. There's a lot of shit talking going on. So I'll tell you, or I won't tell you, but there are a few athletes around town that people do not like. And so when you hear good things about people, you're like, oh, okay. He tips well. He's nice. He looks people in the eyes. Solid coach. Roy
He
Williams was
doesn't leave
more.
you. He doesn't leave for North Carolina and always secretly want to be a Tar Heel. That was the big thing.
That was so.
Yeah.
Roy was different because growing up, like my friends would go to KU basketball camp, so I had friends that had pictures in their rooms of them standing next to Roy Williams in fourth grade and fifth grade and sixth grade and seventh grade, and he was kind of like your basketball grandpa. But right before he left, they tried to pin him with an interview, and he's like, "I'm not going." He just didn't handle why he let that leak the day before the 2003 national championship game. So they're grilling him about going to North Carolina before the game. He didn't handle it well. It just ended weird. If he would have been more upfront,
That's what just happened with Maryland and Villanova. The Maryland coach like left. I mean, and that's what happened with Bill Parcells when he was before the Super Bowl with the
I was
Patriots
about to
in the
say Bill
90s.
Parcells, yeah.
It's like this stuff gets. I mean, don't you think in some ways, Sheezer, it's because look, Kansas as a fan base, as a franchise, if you will, views itself as one of the big, Wilt Chamberlain played here. Fucking the inventor of the sport, Dr. Naismith, like taught here. Like you guys see yourselves, Kansas sees themselves as
Adolph
one of the
Rupp learned
ultimate blue bloods.
basketball in Kansas.
Right. So it's one of those things like this is where the acorn, like the original tree, has roots in Kansas. And in some ways it was like I don't think Kansas wanted to think that you could leave Kansas for North Carolina. Like it was like you got out blue blooded. You know what I'm saying? Like there were other ties. He had a secret. Roy Williams had another family that he loved a little bit more, and it was in North Carolina.
Yeah, and I was just fact checking. I
Think of
think
that history. That history you have right there. Like you got the Kansas history. Syracuse has a little history too. Jim Boeheim. Auburn, this is new money, and Bruce Pearl, we hope to see bigger things.
I love Bruce
But let me
Pearl.
ask you this. I love Bruce Pearl too.
Dude,
Except how he
somebody
votes.
and
Yeah,
same,
yeah.
well, the same thing with Bruce. It's like either a basketball coach or a Cadillac salesman. Like he's got that
Yeah.
same energy, but a little bit more intensity than Bill Self. But no, you guys got money. Now you're building on something to be a little bit easier.
Right.
Not that there's even recruiting. You guys got money. That's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like sorry to switch sports here. It's not like that Tennessee quarterback that wants more money. Like we don't have that problem yet in Auburn as far as on any sports. Like that Tennessee at quarterback wanted twice as much money from the NIL, which I think is
I'm
really going
looking
to
up his
cause
name. Let's call him Tua Tagovailoa until
basically, I don't know his
Yeah,
name.
it's a
that's
tough,
racist. That's
Nico
racist.
something.
it's a tough name.
Nico Emalaviloa.
Yeah, that is it.
I hear he's going to North Carolina and
It's
Belichick.
it's
That's
Nico
right.
Lamaleava. Lamaleva. Anyway,
Emalamalea.
Emalamala. Nico.
Shanghalaviko.
Abalamalova.
So North Carolina is that?
Abalamalova.
I
That's
mean,
the rumors is
okay.
that he's going to go play under Bill Belichick.
So
I don't know if
regardless
they're
of
going to
where
pay
he
him a bunch of
goes,
money, but yeah.
Eric, you're the elder sports fan here. You've watched college football longer, it's college sports longer than Willie and I. What are your thoughts?
I saw Herschel Walker rush for Georgia live. Okay, I saw it in real time.
That's amazing.
I'm that old.
So what are
Yep.
your thoughts on this? Like just the leverage of the current college athlete versus alumni, or what do you think they need to rein this in or restrict it a little
Well,
bit?
what I think, I got to tell you, I was driving in early this morning, and late night talk radio was all over this topic because it's the fans were like, I can't believe it. He took a people were calling in from Tennessee, like, I've been a volunteer all my life. And by the way, this kid got paid $2 million for a red short year where he just sat around and did nothing, and now he wants twice as much money. It's like the market's gonna bear what the market's gonna bear.
Right, right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, get paid. It's like people are like, Willie was telling me, it's like, oh, well, he's ranked the ninth or 10th best quarterback in the SEC. It's like, hey, man, if you're the ninth or 10th best quarterback in the SEC, that sounds like someone who's not getting drafted by the NFL
No.
because, you know what I mean? And
He's
so
only
it's
a
like, hey,
freshman.
man, okay, but that also
But yeah,
means,
yeah, you can make as
but,
much.
but
Yeah,
But I'm saying it's like this is make your Caitlin Clark money now. Like some of these look a lot. I think we're going to get into a new thing where the next 5, 10 years we're going to see a whole bunch of college athletes that are confronted with this is the most amount of money they're ever going to make doing this. That there is no professional. This is their professional career is
Right,
their college career. That's where they're going to
right,
make the most of their like instead of running up a bunch of instead of
right.
coming out of college with a whole bunch of credit card debt like I did. It's like these kids are going to come out with like, hey, you have a 5, 10, whatever $1 million nest egg to go work for Stanley Morgan or go into real estate or go into, houses, fixing up and flipping houses, whatever it's going to do. Like a lot
I'll
of
tell
people
you what it's
aren't
going
going
to
to
do.
play on the next level.
It's gonna force the NFL Players Association to somehow leverage where because you're losing the NFL, they're losing the quality fourth, fifth, sixth round picks because these guys are staying in school. So you're not able, there's not going to be as many
Sure.
gyms. So at some point, the NFL is going to kind of have to reply to this, say, like, hey, we got to be paying our down the line guys that much more just so to give them, to entice them a little bit more, even though it's the NFL. But to your point,
Oh, but then
if they
again,
can make
how long do you keep a draft going? How long do we keep this weirdly socialistic? Like this isn't capitalism. It's like, look, we all graduated college and we got to choose wherever. Hey, I want to apply for Google or IBM. I want to go work for Disney or Sony. It's like, and you can choose and you meet your own. It's like, hey man, if you get drafted by the Patriots and you don't want to play for the Patriots, you're screwed.
Are
I
you
mean,
saying get rid of the
eh,
draft altogether?
it's not American. How about that? It's not American.
yeah,
The
All
draft
no,
right,
is
I'll entertain that thought for a little bit because
I
then the
will
players will
not.
choose. The players will choose where they want to play, and guess what? We've seen this through free agency. No one wants to play for the Patriots. All right.
well, I'm just choosing a name. It's like I mean, I don't think that's true. I mean, but it's like it comes with then big market, small market, who wants
Right.
to play where. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
But
time
it's
and
one of
time
those
again,
things.
the player that doesn't want to go there, like holds out, skips out, threaten, they don't end up there.
Sure.
I mean, and that's happened for 40 years. So,
Eli Manning didn't want to go. Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers. You know what I'm saying?
and it was like,
John Elway didn't want to go to the Colts. You know.
And
And by the way,
baseball, Dion.
Shadeur Sanders don't want to go to wherever. I don't know.
well, he's not going to be at the draft. He's not going to be at the draft night. He knows not to. He knows not to go. He
That's
knows
very
not to.
smart. It's
I
very
do
Yeah.
think
smart.
some sort of salary cap, maybe. I like the idea of maybe having going back to the wait a year to transfer thing, just to kind of slow it down. I'm not saying
Why?
I
You don't
like
have to.
I
If you're
like
in
that
college,
rule.
you don't have to. Why? Why? It's like, hey, if I'm in college and I want to transfer to Baylor or Rice or Stanford, I can
I
do that
I
as a
don't know any
student.
of the players. Like you watch basketball, like who are
Right.
these guys? Like I
Oh my
like
Right.
God, you don't know.
watching a
You don't know this.
player develop. I don't want to have to
You
like,
don't know the
oh, now
names
he's
of
on
all the
Baylor.
workers on the
Now he's on
plantation.
Texas Tech.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm just
No, no,
like
I
I
don't bring
like a
up the
team.
plantation.
It's
I'm a
like
black person. I can say, don't bring that up.
look,
It's
you
indentured servitude. It's indentured servitude. I mean, like, look, that's what last night the Rays are like. They're talking about contracts. They're talking about. It's like that's where it's like you're like, okay, is this for the who is it for? Is it for the fan? Is it for
Yes,
the student? Is it for the
Yes.
university?
Yes.
everybody benefits. We get
It's for the,
entertained.
but you're
This,
saying it's for the fan.
that's part of it. I mean, the university. I mean, what did enrollment in Alabama go up like 80% or something out of state when Saban got there because of all the attention
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
getting
Absolutely.
um nationally. But yeah, I'm just saying, just
I
some
think there needs to be, and I agree with you, Sheezer, there needs to be some sort of punishment is not the word, but some sort of reprieve that if you're going to transfer to another school, there has to be some sort of like you got to sit out a year. You got like you can't just be bopping around all
how
over
about
the
this?
place.
How about this? Like those
Maybe
You
smaller,
guys
maybe
aren't.
maybe you get a cap of two transfers.
let's
Two transfers. And
What
then
kind
after
of
that,
communism is this? It's like
no, hear
this.
me
It's
out. Let me
I,
finish.
okay. What kind of shackles can we put on these young people?
Or if that's the case, Eric, then you should be able to go to the NFL at any age.
I mean,
Yeah.
Chris Winkie was 27 when he got
No, no, I
drafted.
mean I'm talking like a 19, 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid says I'm
Oh,
entering
okay.
the NFL draft. No, you don't do that.
I mean that it happened once. The kid he graduated, I don't know. He was a defensive tackle, which also made it incredible. But he was barely 20 when he got drafted because he left high school early. And
The league that I know that this doesn't work in is the NBA because they had a bunch of high schoolers and they said it's watering down the league because they're not ready for it. They're not basketball ready. They don't know any plays. Yeah, they can jump out of the sky. None of them really can't shoot. There's
to the
only been a few exceptions.
to the fans' point, right? So say basketball.
Right.
Let's say there's two ways to a championship. From a fan's perspective, let's say Saturday you pick up basketball. Every once in a while, you get that one good team. You just happen to get the tall guy. You got the guy that can shoot okay, but he's on fire, and you go undefeated. And you play on the A court all Saturday. You get 9, 10 games. You go run right through it. That's
Right.
great. You're the champion. Versus the team that maybe four of the guys grew up together. Then there's like his friend that from work comes with him, and like
Yeah.
they've been playing together for a while. And there's like
The
and
Nova Knicks.
that and like from the fans like, oh, remember when he couldn't shoot, now he can. Oh, and then you
Yeah.
get to know about their family. Oh, his mom is owns the bakery downtown, and she makes there's all these extra stuff from a fan's perspective that you get to add into. Like Kansas basketball, they have to get an entirely new team next year. Is all coming in. No one, like, I don't care about any of those guys. Three of them will go to the NBA, five of them will transfer out of
Look
the.
what John Calipari did at Kentucky. He got him fired. The guy's not there anymore. One and done. He's out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but now he's back with Arkansas, running with the Razorbacks.
I
what a
mean,
collapse too. What was that 15? They were up
yeah.
15. I mean, that Houston comeback was
I am
damn
so
fun.
surprised, Ari, that you are all about this one and done. That you don't care about tradition. You don't care about like getting to know a
He's a
player.
Syracuse guy. He's Carmelo Anthony in and out. Yeah,
No, no. I'm
Ah.
just saying. It's like
and,
think about it. It's
and,
like look,
and Carmelo with
if
the
you guys,
C, not a K.
Mhm.
if you put a limit, it's like look, Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter couldn't have gone from Jackson State to Colorado if they had to sit a
That's
year.
different. That's different because
Oh,
you're jumping leagues at that time, basically. They're coming from a Division 2 to a Division 1
you
now.
can't
Eric,
follow your you
I'm
can't
with
follow your
Eric.
coach.
They would have had to sit out a year and think how much better they would be now going.
Not in the old. If
I,
you jump from like divisions, like as far as Division 1
Oh,
sub divisions, you didn't have to sit out a year. If you went in the same
a
division and crossed
subdivision
over,
of
yeah,
right.
right, but
yeah,
then all the people that came over in the the 70 players that came over in the transfer portal to play with those two
A
guys
lot of them would
would have
have.
all had to sit a year.
Yeah. Hey,
Colorado wouldn't have the team that they wouldn't have been a 9-win team.
I,
let's not act like they're great now.
yeah, yeah. Come on
They won
now.
9. They won 9. They were in the playoff talk with all the 12 teams that make it. Hey, look,
They're retiring their numbers.
I saw that Tennessee, the Tennessee quarterback, like they were in the playoffs.
That's
That
good.
kid was in the playoffs. And now
Yeah.
he's going to go hang out with Bill Belichick's girlfriend down in UNC. I mean, that's what it's about now. I
So
mean, there's a weird part where
I
I'm
just
just saying
think
you guys are like trying to limit students.
no,
Like
it's
this
not
is all the
limiting.
money.
It's
This is all
just
the
No,
money
don't
you
say
can make.
don't say students. They're not students.
they
Student
can be.
athletes.
They
You need
can
to
be.
stop. You
They
need to
should
stop
be.
student athlete right now. These are players that are getting
I
paid.
see. I don't like
But
that
here's the other
either
way.
because
I
that
wanted, it was like Will. I mean, John, earlier when this started a few minutes ago, you brought up like that you need to have a salary cap. And by the way, I'm all about there's an NIL salary cap. You know why? Because then college can go back to doing what it does, paying kids under the table. Because college is so
right.
disgusting that if you give them a number,
Okay,
somebody's
okay.
like, look,
Let's
college
retract the
boosters are
salary cap, and then
okay.
my thing is this. So say I'm a basketball coach at Northern Iowa. They've made the tournament,
Coach
mid-level.
Caesar, Northern Iowa.
So I
Coach
recruit a
Caesar.
kid from Southern Minnesota. He's Chet
Very detailed.
Holmgren's cousin. He's Chet Holmgren's cousin, and he's 6'8". I work with him. I'm in the weight room with him for a couple
Oh,
years. I'm bulking him up. I'm working on his mid game, getting him better. We make the tournament. He goes off. Next thing you know, he leaves to go to Duke because he's averaging 20 points a game in the
right.
tournament. So now that like the coaching staff 3 years into this player, like they should get some compensation from Duke or their, you know, some money. Like say he signs, maybe it's a percentage or like whatever they sign him for, this Duke then has to pay that percentage to Northern Iowa.
When your girlfriend breaks up with you and
That's an
goes to
asset.
date somebody,
That's an
if
asset. They're
a
housing
girl
it, they're
breaks up with
growing
you,
it, they're feeding it. I mean,
yeah, I raised my girlfriend for 7 years, and now she lives in New Mexico with another dude. I should get some settlement. I need to.
no, not really. You
She has
can't.
to sit a year before
Not
she
if you
can
go
transfer to
down to the
sleep with the
sub
other
level.
guy.
Not when you're Division 1 and you go down to Division 3.
Yeah, yeah.
JUCO.
She's my ex girlfriend's only allowed to date in Division 2 players now.
Yeah, no,
That's what happens. It's
she's in the
weird.
JUCO level now, Eric. There's no compensation. She's way.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in.
I'm just look these and that.
She's dating at the retirement home.
But now that small, let's say Northern Iowa school has that extra money to then go pay players to bring a better player in. It just so it's not so
You know what?
lopsided.
I
Somewhat
oddly
level.
like I understand what you're saying, Sheezer. I agree with you. Is like if you come from like a small school and your player jumps ship to a bigger school, that bigger school needs to give me something for taking.
What about this?
It's almost like if you had a contract with a player. If you had a contracts, there should be contracts, period.
So,
If
by
there's
the way,
money
when
involved,
we say that amateurism, like no, these guys are pro,
they're not amateurs anymore. Money's involved.
What
right?
if
But it's
what if
also you're saying it's not. But somehow it's like it's not the universities that's paying them. It's their foundation. It's their booster organization. It's like because it's like they're not amateur. It's like because hey man, it's like I mean it's like hey if they're getting paid by the university, then they should also be able to say unionize. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, look,
Right.
Northwestern football team tried to tried to unionize a couple years ago and just fell short. I mean, it's like, look, these are evolving issues about like, look, things like the
can you
draft
have a
or
union when you have to leave it? You know what I mean? It's not like they
yeah,
can, like
I
after
don't
it's
know.
like I get what they're unionized, but then it's
Sure.
like, oh shit, half our union's graduating. But anyway, I think we're down, guys. I think we got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes to wrap things up.
Okay, real quick. On Sunday, I watched a couple games. The Red Sox had a no-hitter going on, and the Celtics in the last day of the NBA season, in the first quarter, they were up 22-5. And I almost texted you guys, but then of course, like by the third quarter, the whole thing had gone away, and Charlotte came back and actually took the lead. My question to you guys is this: when do you, as a fan, Royal Sheezer and Willie, when do you watch and when do you not watch? Because like you're jinxing it or you're bad luck. In other words, Crochet, the Red Sox was going into the eighth, and I like texted, "Hey, check the box score" to my friends, and then it was like, "What, a no hitter?" And then somebody jinxed it and it broke up. I mean, like, when do you watch and when do you not watch? What's the tipping point? When do you have to? I have to turn the TV off or I have to turn it on.
I'm gonna walk out of the room before TV will be on. I'll just
TV, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
I don't turn TV. I change clothes. I'll have my Auburn shirt on or I'll put it on. I'll change clothes. I'll change socks. I will actually keep the TV on because I'm with Sheezer on this because I feel like it's a jinx just to turn it off because I feel like I'm abandoning my team. I'll go
Yep.
to the other room and watch the game on another TV while that TV is still on.
But you might need to I need to change that. I need to change Look, I took a shower during the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl. I took a shower at halftime. I didn't watch the halftime show. Like I needed a whole new start. I did laundry at the third quarter. You know what I mean? I was working on my concession speeches. Like I was gonna have to tell Jerron Horton, "Oh, congratulations on your Falcons winning the Super Bowl," and then I didn't have to do that, man, because they came back 28-3. It was that fucking great.
I currently have three Royals ones going. One, I'm torn because I wore Jeff King jersey opening day, lost. But I've worn the Hosmer, got a victory over the Orioles when I went to the game, and then wore my Jordano Ventura, got a victory. So I know I've got two somewhat lucky, one not lucky Royals. So I'm torn. Do I wear the Jeff King again? Because I get a lot of compliments on the Jeff King jersey when I'm at the stadium. And then the other one that I try to abide by is I don't wear any Dodgers stuff during the baseball season. Like I'm a Dodgers fan,
Oh,
but I try to just stick to Royals.
you don't confuse the blue because you got it's both
It's
royal
in
blue.
there.
Like
I open the drawer up. There's a lot of blue in there, but I do not
this
confuse.
Dodgers and Royals, it's the same because you guys are it's the same color scheme. It's the
Yeah,
exact same.
really is. Yeah, it's a slightly darker blue with the Dodgers, but yeah. So I
So
got
what you're
that
saying is that's your Dodgers is your off-season blue. You have royal blue, literal royal blue during a season, and then you have
correct.
off-season Dodger blue.
Correct.
That's very interesting.
But
I
I'm
didn't even
not.
I've known you for years and I've
I
never heard you
just this
say
is
that
all new. This is just since I've been full time Royal. Because in
in Kansas
LA,
City.
yeah, and when you live in California, it's like I wouldn't say it was 50. It was 60-40 Royals Dodgers. Just because I'm going to Dodgers games, had season tickets. Invested as a fan for years and years and years through the shitty years, through the good years. Kershaw's rookie year, all the Brody going to the game stories, bringing up Ethier and Kershaw to the Comedy Store, all that stuff, loving it. But now that I'm in Kansas City, going to all the home games, I'm seeing Karen. Haven't talked to her yet this season. Know a couple of the ushers. Know Walter out in left field is always taking care of me. Let me go to the front row in the outfield.
Well, it's going to
Uh,
be a great season, guys. We got to wrap up the show here, but the NBA playoffs is coming. The Masters is over. Baseball is underway. Guys, I'm Eric Marino in New York City. That's Willie Hunter in the City of Angels with Sheezer in the Heartland in Kansas City. Thank you for listening to episode 5, the Nomar Garcia Power episode of Sportsaholic 2.0, now featuring Willie Hunter. Stay obsessed.
Go Yankees.
Boo.